Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangade. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of our cells, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Tucson Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jodi Susan. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Well, grand rising, everybody. This is Jodi Susan Calhoun with Tucson Essentials and the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show, Self-Care. And so excited to have Dr. JR on the show today, and we're going to tell you all about him, and he's going to help you reclaim your health, especially if you live in the Illinois area. He's an amazing healer who has been doing this since he was a child. So we're going to ask him about that and all that. Meanwhile, I just want to share, I started a new practice, and every show, I want to make sure for the new listeners that you understand why I'm doing this show. I was misdiagnosed and over-medicated for nearly 2 decades and put on 19 different medications to the point where I almost, croaked. Just saying. But for those of you who are in similar situations, and I know there's a lot of you out there because you all came to me in droves to tell me your story. But if you haven't heard about my story before, I'm just going to say, 1, you can download my book for free, which I'll put into the thread later. And 2, you can do it. So if I can reverse over whatever 21 different chronic conditions using plants and energy-based healing, you can too. And that's why I do the show. So you can capture tidbits of information every Tuesday and learn how to reclaim your health. And with no further ado, Dr. JR. Good morning, Grand
Good
Rising.
morning, Grand Rising. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for having me.
I am so grateful to have you. Yeah,
We're
really.
going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time together.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So, JR, you've heard my story. Tell the world your story. Why did you go into healing? I mean, you started Reiki as a 4-year-old, I think you said. Did I get that right? Because crazy. My bird was doing Reiki on me the other day after I had tooth work done, and she came over and she just laid her beak on my tooth.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing. Reiki is a powerful method. It's a method that is based on. It's a language of love. It's a language of love. That's what
Wow.
Reiki is. That's what Reiki is, and there are many modalities and many methods. This is just one of them that developed in Japan, and it's just a placing of hands on a person or on yourself as an expression of unconditional love and affection. And what that does is generate the exact same potential, potential for laughter, potential for healing, potential for this yummy, cozy feeling that we get inside. It's the same exact energy that a mother uses when she cradles her baby and rocks the baby to sleep. And suddenly the baby goes from, crying or expressing itself to just this feeling, this just intense coziness. And there are many, sorry.
Which means we're all capable of doing it.
Everybody's capable of doing this. I started off at a young age simply because the way I describe it is energy was my first friend and it was my first language.
Wow.
So the sensitivity, and I say sensitivity because there's no gift in my world. There's not an ability that somebody is born with, at least in this sense. We're talking about a sensitivity, and that sensitivity is the exact same je ne sais quoi that a pianist. Let's give an example. You hear two pianists. You hear two pianists that are playing. They've
Okay.
played for 30 plus years, and their technique is flawless. But there's one pianist that captures you. They have, again, this je ne sais quoi, this sensitivity that just pulls you in. And suddenly, it's not about the technique. It's not about anything really. It's just you are sucked into this energy interaction between the musician and the listener, and suddenly there's an orchestra that is created. There's a symphony, there's an orchestra, there is an interaction between the player and the listener, and it becomes magical. And everybody can play the piano or play the instrument, and anybody can listen correctly. Some people just have, again, that little sensitivity, and that's what I call what I had at a young age, and that's what brought me to learning many other forms of energy healing, and to the point where after high school, I branched into various other art forms. Some of them hands-on, like clinical massage therapy. Some of them more outside the box, and that is in terms of behavioral science. My degree is in behavioral science, my undergrad, and nutrition. And then I found the world of Oriental medicine, and that spoke my language just because it's a medical modality that is, over, they say 3,500 years, but, no one exactly knows the
Right,
terms.
right. And so, like,
Um,
it's ancient health,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
ancient
It's,
nutrition,
it's,
ancient
it's
health,
ancient well-being.
ancient well-being,
It's
even
ancient well-being.
better.
How do you treat a state of disease? And many people know me for saying this quite often. Disease is two words: dis-ease. Life is no longer easy. Life is no longer flowing smoothly. You are not properly aligned
Right.
with your internal self and your external self. And when that happens, there is a state of dis-ease that we find ourselves in that then allows us uh, or opens the door to resonating with external factors that influence our health and well-being.
So, what would you say would be some of the things that cause an imbalance? Because today we're talking about, so let me just make sure everyone knows what we're talking about today. We're talking about um, how you're guided by your belief that health is a state of balance and that disease is derived from two words, dis hyphen ease, meaning ease is no longer in the equation.
Mhm.
It's a lack of harmony in the body, in the mind, and the consciousness, your spirit, and how to support yourself in healing from within using things like meditation, nutrition, fasting, and there's the list goes on. But so that's what we're talking about. How do we have harmony and balance in the body? And it doesn't include pharmaceuticals, right?
It does not include pharmaceuticals. It does not include um, uh, uh, invasive procedures. We'll call it that. I want to note that in 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 my work, in my understanding, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Western medicine, and let me explain why.
No, I agree. Go ahead.
Western medicine is a symptomatic based medicine. That's what it is.
Right.
That's literally what it is. You have pain here, you take something, or you do this, or you'd have this procedure to take out the pain, et cetera, et cetera. Same goes for a headache, same goes for a bellyache. It's a symptom based medicine, and it's very, very good at intervening when necessary. So for emergency care, I appraise Western medicine.
I do
Now,
too. So I think it's not either or, it's both. It's a yes and,
exactly, exactly,
right? And
exactly.
so we need so Western medicine is critical. You're in a car accident, you have a heart attack, you break a leg, or what I mean, you want Western medicine. You don't want to be pain will shrink your brain. So
Mhm.
it's important to have a synthetic painkiller for those immediate needs. What's not okay,
When necessary.
yeah,
When
when
necessary.
it's not okay to have it long term.
Yes, correct,
Mhm.
correct.
It's
Let me,
it's
let me, let me give you an example.
yeah.
The food pyramid, right?
Mhm.
We've always seen the food pyramid with the categories of food. Well, there's the same pyramid that is used with medical paradigms. Okay,
Mm,
if you look at the lowest uh, part, we're going to cut the pyramid in parts. The lowest part, and low doesn't mean it's bad or good. It's just where it's placed. We have Western
it's
medicine.
on the pyramid. It's at the bottom of the pyramid.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah,
That is
foundation.
Western medicine. That is symptom-based medicine, right?
Mhm.
Biological, biochemical. Above that, you have a medicine that is based on something called I call it vital information. We call it chi, we call it ki, we call it prana, we call it bioenergetics, we call it many things, but it's terminology, to use the correct terminology, it's energy-based medicine. And that's where you could plant Oriental medicine. Okay.
Say that part again.
Oriental medicine is an energy-based medical paradigm.
Got it.
Okay. Above that, getting higher onto closer to the peak, we have Ayurveda, which is Hindu medicine, right? And Ayurveda is based on information. It's an informational paradigm of wellness. Above that, we have Tibetan medicine.
Ooh.
And Tibetan medicine is now consciousness-based. So it's a consciousness-based medical paradigm.
Ah.
Right? And above that, at the peak of that pyramid, we have what we call a system that I have that I am very familiar with, that I trained vigorously in. It's called Synergetica.
Synergetica. Okay.
Synergetica.
And where's that based out of? Like what country? Like, because when you said Tibetan, I was ready to pull out my big, huge Tibetan. Shall I show you? Let's see this. Come
Let's show me, please.
Okay. So, from Tibet.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
and
love
then
it.
we'll just put it right underneath. So if you've got headphones on,
Amazing.
take them off now, Dolly.
Amazing. A beautiful sound.
That's a
Beautiful sound. That's a beautiful sound. I feel the vibration from it. It's quite powerful.
Yeah, and I have my little ones too, but that one's just so much more fun.
I love that. Well, I have to play around with that when I come over one day.
Yeah. So where's Synergetica?
So Synergetica is a paradigm of medicine that was developed in Medellin, Colombia, South America.
South America, okay.
And it's branched in various countries in South America. It's become a complementary medical practice. It's also known in Europe, in places in Asia, and it's slowly coming into the US. But Synergetica is just the name of this method, and this method is an integrative medical approach to well-being. So I place the name Synergetica on the top of the peak, but you don't have to know what Synergetica is. You don't need to train in it. You just need to know that I'm talking about an integrative approach that uses all of these medical paradigms, that synthesizes them, that places them together in order to claim or reclaim. Because claim and reclaim are two different things, but in order to claim or reclaim your optimal state of well-being. And you said something earlier. Forgive me the exact words, but you said being in an optimal something to that effect. Being in a
homeostasis,
in a state of balance and harmony.
Yeah, balance.
I call that a state of being with a capital B.
Okay.
Okay, because the being refers to this. You're gonna hear me refer to the body as a vehicle, a temple. Many times I use both words, but this vehicle that we have on this plane of existence, and this state of being, hopefully in a wellness state of being, is internal,
right,
as well as external. So that's why I use the capital B.
Right, and you said it's a vehicle and a temple. So the vehicle allows us to walk the earth plane.
I use the term vehicle because when it comes to your car, now,
Mhm.
believe me, I'm not a mechanic by any means, but I do know that every now and then your car needs maintenance. It
Mm.
needs oil change. It needs, you know, dot dot dot. The list goes on. I dare not speak of cars, but it needs proper maintenance
Yep.
in order to function as it should, so that it could take you, it can navigate you
Yep.
to wherever you need to go. Well, this is our vehicle. In this plane of existence, this is our vehicle. And just like you change the oil in the car, we also have to um, practice certain or incorporate certain practices in our lives in order to maintain this vehicle. So that's why I call it the vehicle. Also, the temple, because I like the visual behind a temple. You walk into a temple and you never see a spider web.
No, you don't, do you?
You never see any dust built up.
Mhm.
Why? Because the temple is maintained properly. The temple is cleaned properly, internal, inside, and out. When you see a temple, I don't know if you've been to Asia.
I have
Um,
not.
I lived in China for 3 years. I did my PhD there. But when you see a temple from afar, it's inviting.
Yeah.
You see
You
it from
wanna go,
all the way,
you're
and
full.
you're pulled in because it's this. Again, I use the term "yummy" very often, but it's this
You do not.
fuzzy
Oh, no, 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 no,
invitation.
no, no. Whoa, 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 whoa. You use the term yummy?
Yummy full all the time.
I use the term yummy all the time.
There we go. Good.
Soul
Perfect.
brother, just on that alone.
I say something is yummy full, I'm the happiest man alive.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
when you see the temple from afar, miles and miles away, there's a pull. There's this invitation to interact with the temple. And that's the same the same invitation that you have outside of the temple and inside of the temple when you walk in. Same as I refer to this temple. When you are in a state of proper alignment, we'll talk about what I mean by that. But
Sure.
when you are in a state of proper alignment or in that state of well-being,
Mhm.
then you are inviting everything that is external, you are inviting within, right? You don't have to invite everything, but I'm saying they're pulled towards you because you are in that state of being
Or
that is
frequency.
healthy.
Or
Yes, we'll talk
frequency.
about frequency in a second. Yep.
Uh-huh.
That is healthy, that is happy, and that is full of life.
Yeah.
And when you are in that state, it creates a domino effect.
Mhm.
When you are in this state of yumminess, yummyful,
Oh,
all right, you invite those around you. So suddenly you're in a room. Here's an example. Have you ever walked into a room and everyone is lively, everyone is, interacting, everyone is happy, some people are dancing, some people are singing. It's just this, wow, it's invigorating. It's
it's lively,
right,
it
right.
lights you up, your heart sings,
Exactly. There you go.
heart sings.
Have you ever walked into a room where everything feels a little dull?
Yeah, and you feel sad, your heart's heavy,
There you go.
you kinda don't know where to go, and
Exactly.
then you're looking for the place to hide.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, very true.
Yeah,
When you are in this state of being, when everything is properly aligned,
right?
you walk in and you cause, not intentionally or intentionally, but you cause that domino effect. So now everyone in that room will start, you called it, vibrating or resonating
Mhm.
with your vibration, with your vibrational frequency. And that's what I call proper alignment.
Well, and here's the thing. So I always ask the question of people, what frequency do you want to bring to the table? Right? What frequency do you want to bring to the party? And it looks like we have a couple comments here. Hold on.
When begins.
Vieta Robinson, grand rising conscious ones. Thank you. Then she says, yay, yummy, yummy steak. So Vieta is our Friday and Sunday host. He is a bright light, and she does an amazing job at raising the consciousness of the universe. So we're so grateful that she's I feel dedicated her time here on Earth School to support others on their earthly journey. And she's a holistic life coach.
Amazing. Very nice to meet you, Vieta.
So, and what she says, I'm bringing a frequency of love. And Vieta, if you have questions, type them in the chat or, call in, feel free. And I just want to make sure anybody who's listening, if you're listening, which you can listen on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Podbean, Spotify, and so forth, you can call in to the show because we're also on Blog Talk, which is our mainstay. 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. And you can ask Dr. JR questions that you have about what we're talking about bringing harmony and balance to your life, and what that looks like. So let me see if I have any callers on the line. We have callers, but nobody's asking questions yet. So if anybody has questions, and I'm checking Podbean, so no questions yet, but if you have questions, please call in. We'd love to hear what you have to say. So, and we're going to go to commercial break in a couple of minutes.
Wow, it's been that time already.
Yeah.
It's fun when you're flying.
What's that?
Time's fun when you're flying.
Yeah. But so we're talking about frequency and the frequency you bring into the party. And so,
sorry.
Do you teach people how to clear their energy?
Yeah.
So tell me about that. I mean, I do that as well, but I don't always talk about how you clear your energy. So
let me go back a little bit and explain what we're calling frequency or vibration. Okay?
Sure.
Because I don't know about everyone on the show, but some people might not know what we're referring to.
Okay.
Everything is vibration.
Yeah.
Everything is vibration. Vibration either vibrates very high or very rapidly, or it vibrates very slow. Right?
Right.
In terms of energy, you're going to like this, Jodi. In terms of energy, Reiki is a very slow vibration in the sense that, and there's no good or better or worse in terms of this factor. It's a slow energy, and that's why there's so much heat that is generated within the hands. And when you apply Reiki on a person, you will feel heat from the palms of their hands, and even in a room where I'm working, the temperature actually elevates quite a few degrees after a session. But that's what we call a slow energy. A higher frequency energy I've come across is something like reconnective healing.
Reconnective healing.
Reconnective healing.
So what is that?
It's
our show right now.
It's another energy modality or method developed by Pearl is his last name. I don't remember the first name. I'm sorry. Dr. Eric Pearl.
Okay.
And it is a light frequency according to his definition of it. And I've been trained in it, but it's what I wanted to describe solely is that it's a faster vibrating energy, and it can cause, when you apply it on someone, it can cause muscle twitches.
Okay, what's it
Right?
called?
Reconnective healing, or the reconnection.
Reconnection or reconnect?
Reconnection. Another modality is qigong,
It cause twitches. Why does it cause
because
twitches?
that vibration is very fast, and it causes muscles to twitch.
Twitch. So what's the benefit of that?
There's no better or worse. There's no higher or lower. It's just in terms of vibration. That's what I'm talking
What's the benefit of the faster vibration or the distinction of a slower vibration, still a high vibration for Reiki? Then you have reconnective healing, and you said it's more rapid.
Mhm.
What does the body receive? So not necessarily better or worse.
It's all the same energy. It's all the same energy.
Okay.
Whether you call that source, God, whether you call that universal energy, whatever terminology you have, it's all the same energy. It's just how is it applied,
Okay.
right? So,
Well, how is it applied, and then what does the receiver get?
right, exactly. How does the receiver interact with that frequency? So that's why some people, they go get a Reiki treatment, for example,
Mhm.
and they don't uh, they don't feel the benefits, or they don't see the benefits, because they don't resonate with that vibration. Okay, just like people that get acupuncture.
I
When
got it.
people get acupuncture, and they said, no, it didn't do it. It didn't do anything for me, and that's perfectly fine and acceptable. It was because it's because it was a therapy that they did not resonate with.
Totally get it. So
Okay,
I love
I
acupuncture,
understand.
and my husband, nah. I'm levitating off the table, and he's like, "Get me off the table and not in levitation." Yeah. So
Right.
go to commercial real quick,
Sure.
and then while we're at commercial, feel free to dial in and ask myself or Dr. JR questions about bringing harmony and balance to the body and what that might look like. The number is 515-605-9325, and press 1 to speak. Here we go.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jodi Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Hi, I'm Jodi Susan with Susan Essentials. I started Susan Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Susan Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Susan Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing.
All right, so I have one more commercial, and this is called Quick. And for people who are looking to make money while they're sleeping, and no, I'm not really being sassy about that. I really do mean that. This new e-commerce site is displacing Amazon. It's in the beta test. And the reason it's displacing Amazon is because when you buy something and you share something, like you buy a pair of tennis shoes and your friend says, I love it, you send them a link and you get paid. Just that simple. No membership fees, no nothing. It's just like you make a purchase, you share it, and you're done. Here's the commercial on that.
Welcome to QuickClick, where customers can buy, share, and earn. Meet Sam. Sam owns an e-commerce business that sells athletic shoes and running gear. Sam wants to increase her sales without increasing marketing spend, so she decides to list her products on QuickClick. On QuickClick, her loyal customers can get paid for sharing her products with their friends. Sam uploads her products to the marketplace, just like she would on Amazon or Shopify. Meet Laura. Laura is in the market for a new pair of shoes and comes across Sam's brand on the QuickClick marketplace. Laura is able to purchase the shoes and check out like she would on any other e-commerce site. After purchasing, Laura receives a unique Quick link that she can share with friends to begin earning Quick Cash. Her friend Jessica opens Laura's Quick link on her phone and purchases the pair of shoes. Because Jessica purchases using Laura's Quick link, Laura receives Quick Cash in her account. After purchasing, Jessica can now share her own Quick link and begin earning Quick Cash as well. But QuickClick is more than just your typical referral or affiliate platform. QuickClick rewards customers for sales they directly and indirectly influence. So, for every sale Jessica's new Quick link makes, Laura will earn additional Quick Cash as well, making the potential for earning exponential. Laura and Jessica can transfer their Quick Cash balance to their bank account at any time, or can even use Quick Cash to make additional purchases in the app. Meanwhile, Sam can just watch as the sales roll in. Best of all, she doesn't have to worry about costs, since she is only spending marketing dollars when actual purchases are made. Start buying, sharing, and earning today at QuickClick.com.
And we are back. So, for people,
Sorry.
For people who want to call into the show and have questions, this is the time. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. A hand will be raised up in the back room, and I will know that you have a question. So go ahead, Dr. JR.
I wanted to go back to these vibrations. Okay, everything is vibration. Some things vibrate at a lower speed, and some people also, but some energies vibrate at a higher speed. Again, Reiki is a warm energy. That's why I refer to it as a slower frequency. I'm not going to use the term lower, slower frequency. Okay. When it comes to Qigong, I'm sorry.
Like it's calming.
It's calming. Exactly. Very much so. Qigong, which is Chinese-based movement energy, as well as an internal. There is active Qigong and there is internal Qigong. That's what I was trying to say. But Qigong, when you apply it in therapeutic form, it has a cooling sensation. It feels cool to the touch, okay? Or a tingly sensation.
So why, if it's coming, are they both coming from the human body?
Yes. Well, yes and no.
Well, source energy.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, but we're the conduit.
Yes.
And so why is Reiki come across as warm and Qigong come across as cool?
It's just a matter of the vibration. That's it. It's simply one vibrates when in terms, we'll use Reiki in this factor. When Reiki is applied, the energetic wave, right, is slow. And this creates a heat effect.
Oh, I have a question.
Okay. Yes.
Wow. So, as an intuitive, sometimes, like I won't even necessarily be channeling, but a spirit comes in.
Mm-hmm.
We speak something and it resonates as truth in the universe, and we get chills over our body. Is it so?
Not
The
getting it.
vibration.
Now
So
you're getting it.
talk to that. So the vibration is fast because when they've already passed, right, and they're now a spiritual being,
Mhm.
right? They must be vibrating at a faster speed,
Yes.
which means it's cooler.
It's yes.
Wow.
It's a faster energy. So
Wow.
when intuitives, we talk about downloads often, right?
Yep.
We get hit with a download, right? We
Totally.
use the terminology, and this terminology is to understand the term download is to understand that suddenly you have this information that came from where we don't know. We'll leave it up to that, but it's this.
Well, from the universe,
It's this knowing. I'm sorry.
it came from the universal spirit.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's this knowing factor
Mhm.
that you might not have known 10 minutes ago.
Right.
That is what we call that is what we call a download. Okay.
Yes. Similar to your computer. So for the people here who are not on the spiritual track, think about you download information from your computer to your hard drive that allows you to read it and receive it. We, as intuitives, do that energetically. We just don't need a computer.
Correct.
There you go.
And in this same frequency that we're talking about, there are two realms. Okay, one is the energy realm. Okay, we talk about Reiki, pranic healing, healing touch, qigong. The list goes on, right?
Right.
Then we have the information realm.
Okay.
Okay. The way I term this is that information travels through the highway we call energy. Okay. And information travels faster than the speed of light. So when we are referring to frequencies, again, not one is better than the other. I want to make that very clear.
Right.
It's the movement of that highway is either backed up slightly or it's full throttle. You're going 120 miles an hour.
And
Okay.
we have a caller. I was going to say, but I'm going to let you complete your thought. And then I want to take this caller. And I also want to share about what you said about the faster than the speed of light.
Information travels at exceptional speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When it comes to information realm, you are talking about a very, very fast frequency. And that's the difference between energetic modalities or methods, right, or understandings, and information. So those are the two differences I wanted to make.
Well, and it's interesting, you said faster than the speed of light. What does that remind you of?
So exactly, you got it. Yeah. Let me give you a quick example, if we can do this before we take the caller.
Sure.
When you do distance healing using Reiki, correct?
Yeah.
When we do distance healing, we generate a connection between Reiki and the individual that we are sending healing towards, right?
Yes.
But this takes a process, right? It's a process to develop that rapport.
Yes.
Okay. When you talk to somebody on the phone 6,000 miles away, and they mention eating a piece of lemon and salt,
mm-hmm.
and your mouth waters.
Yeah.
That's information.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So information is, I can plant a seed of information on somebody. That's also known as hypnosis.
And you don't even have to be talking to them.
No, exactly. If you plant that seed and they resonate with that seed, that action is instant and it's very fast paced. And that's what I'm talking about, fast vibration.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. So like, yeah. So like how I shared with you yesterday, you have access to all my information on technology and business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, let's take your caller. It's 847-220. I think I know who this is. Hello. Welcome to Georgia.
Hi, Jodi. Hi, Dr. Andrew.
This is my husband.
Ah, very nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too. You were elaborating a little bit more on the question that I had, because before break you said that some therapies don't resonate with certain people, and Jodi was talking about acupuncture, which didn't really resonate with me the couple of times that I had it done, but other modalities do. And you talked about it being a different different frequencies or different vibrations, but I don't know that it doesn't sound like that it's a bad thing that that one doesn't resonate with me, doesn't work for me, the others do. Or is there something that I should work on raising my vibration to have the acupuncture work for me, or is it okay that it doesn't work as much? Does that make sense?
I understand that question perfectly. It's a beautiful question.
Great question. Yeah.
It's you can work on yourself, right? In allowing your mind, your body, accessibility to whatever healing method is being employed. Let me rephrase that. If you said acupuncture didn't really work for you, that's perfectly acceptable. No one should tell you something should work with you if it didn't. Okay, let's get that out of the way. But if you want to work on yourself and you want to try acupuncture in the future, then you can switch the how should I say? You can switch the relationship you have with acupuncture, forget the past experience that did not work with you, right? And invite the possibility of maybe acupuncture can help me with this problem. Okay, so but you don't have to do this. It's a choice you can make.
Well, and he was at a different part, and Andrew, I'll let you talk about it. But Andrew was at a different part of his health journey. That was over 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a completely different man who vibrates very high.
It also depends why you're getting the method. At whatever junction you are in your life. So just because acupuncture did not work for you once or twice in the past does not mean that it will continue not working for you. And the same thing goes with Reiki, and the same thing goes with hypnosis, and the same thing goes with a pharmaceutical drug that is given to you that worked before and now doesn't, or that did not work before and now it does. It is because you are resonating with or without. Sorry, rephrase. It's because if something works for you, it is because you are resonating at that same frequency. Okay, going back to everything is vibration, right? A vibration is a pulse. We're going to use this terminology. A vibration is a pulse. Okay. If a I'm getting hit with something. Sorry. Same as an opera singer that holds a wine glass, and she sings at the frequency that is the perfect pitch to break the glass. This is reality, folks. This is, and we
No,
see.
we know. We actually talked about this in the house.
Okay.
Not everybody else knows.
It's true. When you hit a certain vibration of something, you can make it shatter. You can make it explode. And this is where Tesla research came into play, and this is where we know now how the Rife machine works, and this is how we know today we have these instruments that cause a certain vibration, whether that is singing bowls, whether that is the Rife machine, whether that is the Healy device, whatever that is, right?
Right.
It
We do Healy in this household. We don't
right.
have a wife, but yeah.
It sends a pulse, a vibration, okay, that interacts with your body. And what happens then is that your body can interact with that frequency. And your body then determines, I like this frequency. I'm gonna let it do its job. I'm gonna let it do whatever it has to do to benefit me. Or the body says, I don't resonate with this right now. And whatever method, shape, geometry, ABC technique, ABC 1, 2, 3 that you do, if it does not resonate with you, it will not work.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
So
and it's interesting. Both Andrew and I have had this experience with our Healy where, of course, we let the Healy do its own analysis, but since we're both intuitive, sometimes we just choose, right?
right.
And if we choose wrong, they won't let us do it. It's hilarious every single time.
It's all about how you resonate with everything. Everything is resonance. Okay? Resonance is your relationship to something else.
Yeah.
Okay. And since everything is energy and everything is vibration, that's how we can understand how to adapt to our environment and how we can attain, reclaim, and maintain
Right.
a state of well-being. Okay, when we are in this, it's not about high vibration, low vibration. It's the adequate vibration for your best and highest self, for your best and highest potential. Okay, Jodi, Andrew, I don't know if I answered your question. I kind of spoke a lot of words, but does that does that make sense?
No, you did, Dr. JR. It was helpful, especially when you mentioned a minute ago about trying again, because acupuncture didn't work for me the couple of times 3 years ago. Doesn't mean that it won't work for me now because I'm a different person. And because it wasn't wrong, it was bad, it wasn't wrong, it just wasn't at the right time for me.
Correct. You could feel free to come visit me anytime, Andrew.
It's a long road trip for us.
But no, it's and that is what integrative medicine is. We're talking about the peak of the triangle, of the pyramid again. Integrative medicine for a practitioner, for a doctor, for a practitioner, our job is to find what is the best approach to aiding you in reclaiming your state of wellness, your state of optimal health. Okay. I have a quote that I use very often. I treat everything. I don't cure anything. That's not my job.
Right.
I give you the tools, whether in session during a treatment or changes or modifications to your day-to-day lives, so that you can take charge, so that you can put yourself on a pedestal and say, I am determined. I have made the decision to reclaim my state of balance and harmony. And any doctor or medical practitioner or the list goes on, that says they cure something, be mindful of that. Because it's not anybody's job to cure you.
Right, because the body heals itself, right?
Exactly.
I mean, we can be the conduit. We can provide them the direction, the information. We can even give them the exact tool to use. But until that person puts it in their mouth and has the mindset, the mind shift that their body is capable of healing.
Correct.
Right?
And sometimes that's going to be, sometimes that's going to be, waving your hands, looking like a crazy person because it works, or hypnosis, or acupuncture, or Western medicine, or physical therapy, or chiropractic care, or, the list goes on.
Right.
We have certain.
My brother was a chiropractor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a firm believer that if your spine is subluxated, your body doesn't heal.
Of course.
And so chiropractic is so powerful, but there are so many alternatives, which I'm really grateful to know about now, because as Andrew was saying, acupuncture didn't resonate with him. Well, there was a time in my life I could not be adjusted. I just couldn't.
Right.
And now I use a lot of pulse electromagnetic frequencies. Mm-hmm. And, I'm wearing
it's all vibration. It's all vibration, baby.
Yeah. We have beamers in the house. We have a few beamers. And it's part of our practice. And this came out to one of the companies I work with. It's called the Nimbus, and it's a pulse electromagnetic frequency device. And for those who don't know what that means, it's the Schumann resonance that you're carrying around in a band that goes around your wrist. And what it does, the Schumann resonance is the Earth's frequency. So I was sharing with you last night, JR, that the Andrew and I moved to Georgia from Illinois. It was traumatic, to be simple about it. We're not going to ruin the show with all those details, but suffice it to say, things were hijacked and we went into a traumatized state. And so getting back and bringing homeostasis back to the body, we use a lot of nutrition, we use activity, we use meditation, we use all this stuff, and we use PEMF. And once I got this device and I started wearing it for 12 hours, and it goes on for 7 minutes, and then turns off for 23, and rinse and repeat, right? Every 23 minutes it's going back on, and I'm getting these pulse electromagnetic frequencies that also increase microcirculation, nutrient absorption. As a channel, I channel my supplements every night before I go to bed. I didn't need half of my supplements anymore, because my body's already absorbing the ones that I'm taking, my body doesn't feel mineral deficient.
Right.
So to me, this is a game changer. This is huge. And I have more energy.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrew's like, let's go to bed. And I'm like, no, but I have more energy.
So here's I'm gonna plant a seed here.
Go for it.
Plant a seed. We have these devices, we have these techniques, we have these methods, but I don't want people to think that we must have, or we absolutely need, a bracelet, a necklace, a headband, the list goes on. You do not need anything.
Right. I agree.
Okay? Because you have the potential to create that state
on your own.
And going back to your wonderful intro, Jodi.
Yeah.
There are what I call the 4 pillars of wellness. And just by incorporating these 4, I'm not going to call them actions, these 4
modalities,
invitations on a daily basis.
Visitations?
Invitations.
Invitations. Okay.
Invitations. By inviting these four understandings
Mm-hmm.
on a day-to-day basis, on a daily basis, you are one step closer to that proper state of alignment. Before we go into that, I don't think I spoke about that, what I term alignment. This vehicle that we mentioned earlier is
Yeah.
made up of three bodies. Okay, you could use different terminologies. I use three bodies.
Yep.
We have the physical body,
Yep.
which is also the energetic body. Energetic and physical go hand in hand. We have the emotional body, and we have the mental body. Those are the three bodies that I refer to that make up the vehicle that we have in the state of.
So physical, emotional, and mental.
Mental. Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So some people might say, what's the difference between emotional and mental?
Mental is creative.
Got it.
When when a table was first created,
Mm-hmm.
there were no tables before that. It had to be thought before it could be created. And that's with anything. Look at the computers that we're using now. Look at our phones.
Right.
Right? It had to be thought created before being physically manifested. Okay.
Right.
So thought is a um, is a very close source to willpower.
Got it.
You
Okay.
must have will in order to have thought.
Must
We're
have.
going to get a little esoteric here, okay?
Okay.
Thought does not have a relation. Okay, a thought is a thought. It's an image. It's an understanding. Many people that work with intuitive factors or psychic factors, we know that there are the five senses that we have. Excuse me: sight, listen, hear, taste, feel.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say those five? I think I did.
Here.
All right.
Taste,
Taste, sight,
feel,
listen, feel, and smell.
listen, and smell.
Right.
Wait,
Did I
taste,
call
sight, listen, smell, and what am I missing? Feel.
Feel.
Right. Okay.
Or,
So
okay. Or touch. Or touch.
Okay, we got it.
We have the extra five senses.
Extra
so now
five. Okay.
they're known as using the word clair before it. So
the clairvoyant.
Clairvoyant, clairauditive, clairolfactive, clairsentient, which is now a feeling, right? You feel things more. This is the category of empathy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Clairsentient. So I don't have those memorized.
Oh, that's the story. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm thinking, is that the nose? But that.
There's also another one called claircognitive,
Mm-hmm.
claircognition, and that is just a simple knowing.
Yeah, that's me.
You know something to be fact, and that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
So we have those five. We have the biological, biochemical five. We have the psychic five, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
so 5 and 5. Got it.
The senses, whether they are the extra or the ordinary, we'll call it ordinary for lack of a better word, they are all relation based. They are all relation based.
Yeah.
And that is where emotions lie.
Right.
You must have a relationship to something in order to have an emotion behind it.
Yes, totally agree.
Mm-hmm. So just like the art of smelling, smells are taught. You are not born. You are not born with the knowledge of smell. You do not smell a rose for the first time in your life, knowing that it is a rose.
But you do smell it, but you don't have a
exactly. But you don't have a relationship with the rose, so you do not know how to interpret that sense.
Got it.
Senses are taught. or learned. Sorry, are learned, I should say.
Mhm.
Okay. Emotions are also learned. Okay.
Absolutely, their behaviors.
Exactly. So when you are taught that something is wrong at a very young age, throughout your adulthood, you're going to have that same understanding that it's wrong. We must stay away from that. Or the feeling of sadness, or the feeling of fear, or the feeling of joy. Now, the difference between emotions being learned and emotions being felt is because
Oh,
there you go. Now you're getting where I'm going to.
yeah. It's a response that
It's a
we already
response
have.
mechanism
Mhm.
to feeling. Okay, you do not have to have learned. Sorry, there is no learning to feeling.
No.
We are sentient beings. Human beings are sentient beings. We are meant to feel everything, and and mm, this feeling has been placed under a category of feelings are bad, or feelings are should not be expressed, or feelings should be held within. We should not express emotion. We should not,
Which is
we've
awful.
heard this before, right?
Yeah, actually, that is why we have so many people who their throat chakra is closed up.
Mhm,
They are not self-expressed. They don't feel heard, and
mhm.
then they combust because they get to a point where like I'm not being heard, and they combust.
So here's the thing with emotions. Well, I'm going to go away from this category of what we're talking about for 2 seconds. But emotions are 85 to 90% the cause of all disease.
Oh, all day
Okay?
long. Oh, I could talk to you about that all day long.
We could have a whole nother
Whole
episode.
other show just on how you not
You're welcome to invite me again. We'll talk all day and night about that.
yeah.
But emotions are
We do need to go to commercial. So why don't we just
hold my thought.
for a moment and um but I'd love to talk. And when we come back, I really do want to talk about this because this is so critical. It's about mindset, it's about emotion, it's about being expressed. And when we don't do that, we are so harming and sabotaging the future of ourselves and our children. And I want to talk about that too.
There are two terms I want to come back to after the commercial: explosion and implosion.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, explosion, implosion.
I'm having so much fun with this talk. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you for being here. Okay, so let's go back to commercials here. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do commercials on the Blog Talk, which does not have a video. So, Naima.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif. Join me and my co-host Kareem Hamid every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution Radio Show as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host. Or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution.
Hey, it's time to take charge of your health. I'm Beata, your holistic life coach, and every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I'm here on the Female Solution to empower you to make choices that will assist your evolution to abundant health. I'm also blogging every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at Soul Purpose Healing, where I bring you a spiritual chiropractic adjustment to bring you back into alignment with our Creator's love, compassion, and wisdom. Join me every Friday morning at 8 a.m. and Sunday evening at 8 p.m. for a time of unity, enlightenment, and love vibration. Shalom.
Okay, so I think, and then I just have one other commercial here that's not from Blog Talk. Here we go.
The Place of Peace pop-up from Susan Essentials, you are able to increase productivity, mental acuity, leaving you with higher energy and peace in just 20 minutes. We pop up at our office or yours.
Susan Essentials is re-engineering what health looks like by leading you to the best wellness initiatives in the world. Start your coaching plan today and create a new paradigm of health. Click here to learn more.
All right, and we have some comments. Zelda Robinson, our Monday morning show host, says, Grand Rising, beautiful ones. Thank you so much for this enlightening session. Thank you, Zelda. Zelda is our stress relief coach, and Zelda speaks. She actually reversed diabetes.
Wow, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda, we're going to have to talk more about that one day.
Oh, we talk about it all the time on the show.
Nice. I'll have to tune in.
Yeah, we reverse all sorts of things here. Not us, our bodies do, right? So not us, and we're not doing it to other people just for anybody else who's just piping in now, like that. But if you have questions or you have a question, if you have a question for Dr. JR, please call the show. The number is 515-605-9325. And then press 1 to speak. And we have another hand up. It's 312-849. So let me just, and Grand Rising, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, Grand Rising, Naima.
Hi, Naima.
Yes.
So Naima is our executive producer, Dr. JR. And
nice to meet you, Naomi.
And we were just gonna I'd like for the three of us to talk about, but I want Dr. JR to give us the definitions. We were talking about the emotional outbursts, because if we don't take care of what's going on between our ears, our emotional well-being, our brain health, there will eventually be an explosion or implosion. And I know that Dr. JR wants to talk about the distinction between those two things. And then Naima, if you could pipe in after. Okay.
That'd be great.
Awesome. Dr. JR, take the show.
Let's go back real quick. We were talking about what thought is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thought is brain. Thought comes from the brain. If you look at any definition of what the brain is our I lost my train of thought entirely. Sorry. It's our reaction mechanism.
Yeah.
Okay. Not in its simplest form, it is what tells us to take off our hand from the burning stove.
Right.
Okay. It's that mechanism. That is the simplest definition of what the brain is. Mm-hmm. Thought comes from the brain. Okay. Thought is creation. So that action of pulling away from a burning flame, okay, is creation of your health, of your security. Mm-hmm. So that same energy potential of creation is what we generate in the brain.
Right.
Feeling is felt from the heart.
Yes.
Okay. Wrong feeling or lingering feeling or emotions that are not processed are felt through the gut.
Emotions
We'll
that
go
are
back to
not
that. We'll go
processed
back.
or felt through the gut
Yes. When we
break that connection.
when we hold on to an emotion for a long time and it becomes pathological, and we'll talk about how that can become that way. But an emotion that is not processed or integrated properly can
Oh,
become
yes, how's
stressful in the body. And what happens is we get emotionally constipated.
yes, so that I know because when I first cleared someone, it was all housed in their gut. Like it was just like, and everything from their childhood, from their mother, and everything was in the gut, the gut, the gut. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But feelings are felt from the heart. So that's two differences between feelings. Excuse me, between emotions and thought. I wanted to talk about. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the implosion and the explosion factor of emotions. We are taught at least now it's opened up in the West. We were used to, uh, uh, don't cry, don't do this, don't show your emotions, bottle that in, hold it in. You should not express that. Now we're slowly branching out and allowing ourselves to express, which is a huge step in our evolutionary process.
Yeah. I mean, because how many men are told only sissies cry,
Of course,
right?
of course.
And
Not anymore. It has changed.
hold on. Anybody who's doing this, you are killing your children by not allowing them to express or cry or do whatever, because the longevity of that is that they don't have a way to get rid of the energy that's in their body. It gets housed. It's not a happy energy, and it just manifests as disease.
The term, another example of this is the term broken heart.
Yes.
Okay, a broken heart. Uh, Many people have felt it. I'm not going to say everyone, but many people have felt a broken heart. Would you say that a broken heart is simply an emotion? No,
No,
you feel it.
energetic.
You
It's
feel it in the heart. It hurts. It's
it
physically
physically hurts. Yeah.
right. Okay, so we know now, just with that example, and there are many more, we know now that emotions can manifest themselves into physical form.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay?
so when they misdiagnosed me, JR, having bipolar disorder and schizophrenia
Mm,
um, over 2 decades ago, which then 5 doctors did an analysis and found out that that was like the furthest thing from the truth, right? Um, but when they did that, I mean, I lost my train of thought. But the point is that, oh, thank you. Thank you. Um, I believed the diagnosis because what they said when you research bipolar disorder, one of the things that they say is that people who have bipolar also have pain.
mhm,
Well, why? Well, because they've been quashing themselves for decades,
mhm.
right? And so yeah, people with bipolar disorder have pain, but people who don't have bipolar disorder and quashing themselves have pain.
Mhm.
So don't be so quick to label yourself or to let somebody else label you with a diagnosis that may be the furthest thing from the truth.
To add to that is that the person you see on your screen right now,
Mhm.
Dr. JR, right,
Right?
is going to be a very different person tomorrow. Is
Yeah.
going to be a very different person in 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, because every single cell in our body is uh, is changes on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly.
So we are not the same person that we were yesterday, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago. Okay, we
Exactly.
can still run the same programs, the same behavioral patterns,
Or not.
but or not, but we are not the same person. I am not the same person I was yesterday. So a diagnosis, I'm gonna say this openly. A diagnosis does not have to linger for life. A diagnosis is not a life label.
A life sentence.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to say this. So when I was misdiagnosed, it was in 1997. And so I basically was told and agreed to the concept and the programming that I didn't have bipolar disorder. I was bipolar. So I was labeled, right? And that I was going to have to be on medications for the rest of my life. So I went from being, this picture here is a bodybuilder, 125 pounds, benching 185. Okay. To this, and half of that weight was gained in 2 weeks. So I gained about 50 some odd pounds in 2 weeks. My mom goes out to Nordstrom's and she buys me a red sweatsuit because I had nothing left to wear. Right. And then and I gained the other 50 pounds within probably, a month or so. So total about 100 pounds. And no one thinks that's okay. No one thinks that's strange. No one says, oh, it's more hazardous to be on all these medications and be 100 pounds or obese, overweight, than to maybe just take a look at what I was being exposed to, the chemicals. The chemicals were driving my brain crazy. So if you're listening, and I feel that there's somebody who needs to hear this, if you're using chemicals in your household and you're cleaning the house and it's not plant-based, there's an opportunity to make a change and have calm in your brain, to have control over your emotions. Because I was an emotional mess just because of chemicals alone. Simple.
Some people are more sensitive to chemicals. Some people are more sensitive to our environment. Some people are more sensitive to when there is a full moon or a new moon. Some people are more sensitive when there are solar flares. Some people are more sensitive to other people's emotions.
Yep.
Right. So it's finding what resonates with you best. Right.
Sure.
For some people, I will say, having done my PhD on depression and anxiety and mental health with regards to Chinese medicine, I will say that for some people, a long-term approach to medication is necessary because that is what they resonate with.
Well, apparently, I mean, even though I didn't think I did, well, I mean, I'm not sure that I'm going to agree with you. And here's why. I was sold a bill of goods. First of all, I never took medications. I didn't like medications, even as a child. I remember Johnson & Johnson's baby aspirin. I had a headache. My mom offered that to me, and I kind of looked at it like my higher self knew at 4 that was not a good approach. Okay. And it tasted good. I eventually took one. But give me a moment. The reason I went on medications, and 19 of them, was because I was told that I would be a harm to other people. So they used my love of other people against me to do what was not for my highest good. So I'm not sure that I would agree that I necessarily resonated with medication, but they found the sweet spot or the pain point for me. My pain point was I don't want to bring harm to anybody. And I do think that they use it as a way to manipulate people's behavior.
Let me rephrase what I said.
Sure.
When I said that certain medications, or let's just say we'll call it, I'm trying to search for my words here, an approach to treatment for for anything, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. An approach to treatment never has to be long term.
Thank you.
Okay. When there is no awareness or understanding or education towards having other tools available to you, then unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, the only access a person can have for their well-being is the treatment approach that is available and that is recommended by the medical society. Okay. Now you were diagnosed in 97? You said
1997.
1997. We are almost 15 years later.
Oh, wait. So 1990.
Sorry, I can't do math apparently. Anyways, in that time frame, the mentality has shifted.
Big time.
The consciousness has shifted, and now, which we did not know back in the early 2000s, which we did not know in the 90s or the 80s or prior to that, now we have accessibility to other means of, again, reclaiming your health. Okay. And it's being branched out, and it's being more it's being made more available to people. In the States, Chinese medicine, people don't really know what that is, but people know what acupuncture is. They know the term. They've heard the term. Acupuncture is, you stick needles in people. It's scary for some people.
Well,
right?
because they don't know what the outcome is. It's amazing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But we know that there's this thing out there called acupuncture that has helped people
to clear energy patterns,
specifically for pain.
Yeah.
Okay. What they don't realize is that acupuncture is just one of the methods of a full medical paradigm that we call either traditional Chinese medicine or Oriental medicine.
Right.
Okay. So, but
acupuncture, if I could just say, the not a protocol, right? For PTSD.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. I use ear seeds. I haven't found myself an acupuncturist here in Georgia yet. So I'm using my ear seeds on my ear, my meridians, or whatever it is that I need to do. Because the acupuncturist that I went to, I made her teach me everything as she was doing it.
Amazing. I'll ask around.
Like 2 minutes, and I would also like for you to share your contact information in the chat that I can share with the rest of the world, because I think a lot of people would benefit from coming to see you. Now, you are at Be Optimal, and I believe that's in Skokie now. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. So we want to make sure people know how to get in touch with you, and then they can, reach out to you, make an appointment.
We also do telehealth and remote. I do remote sessions as well.
Lovely. Lovely.
Let me see if I do this correctly. Sorry, I'm typing here. I'm just wondering if I press enter, is it going to send automatically? All right.
And if it does, then that's fine. I mean, no, yeah, you hit the send, not enter. So there's a little blue send button underneath the private chat. And while you're typing that in, I'll do commercial, and then we'll come back. So, and then Naima, I'm sure you have another question. Naima's still on the line, and I'm just trying to find a flipping commercial. Here we go.
Yeah.
So that last commercial was for Fluffy, Focus Life Force Energy, that casts the frequency of love and the frequency of shungite over the longitude and latitude of your home. You want to have a house of healing? Do that. 15-day free trial. And I got one more commercial, and I'm getting myself a blanket. It's cold. Hold up.
Hi, I'm Jodi Susan with Susan Essentials. I started Susan Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Susan Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Susan Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing.
Okay, we are back.
I can't believe it's already 8:30. Time's fun when you're flying. I swear.
I know. And so here is the information. So Dr. JR is at Be Optimal at 5225 Old Orchard, Skokie. Old Orchard Road, I think it is.
Road, yes.
It's Skokie, Illinois. I used to live in Skokie. And you can call him at 847-486-8000. And like he said, he does telehealth as well. So if you are not in the Skokie area, or you just don't even, or you are and you don't feel like getting into your car, because I think there's snow out there now, you know.
Getting there.
Right?
Yeah, we've had a couple of shower storms.
Yeah. I actually like the snow, but shoveling it, and I mean, I do like the snow, but I was just kind of done with it because we're in Georgia now, and Andrew and I are so grateful because we get to go hiking in the mountains all the time, and there are streams and there's waterfalls and the animals. I mean, I look outside my window and the trees are like, I don't know, 100 feet high. I mean,
so I'm coming over for tea when?
Yeah. Whenever you want. I'm taking you here. You come on over.
Perfect.
You know, for sure. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just, and you could come over for tea, or we could take the tea to the forest.
I love that. I love all about that.
Yeah. So we, you know, actually Andrew and I, I'm just going to share this tidbit. So we were married on 12/12 of last year, 12/12/21.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 333. And so we got married in Roswell National Park at the top of the mountain. And just him and I, the birds, right, our parrots, and my friend who officiated over Zoom, right?
Nice. Amazing.
And so it is so the one word I have for it is peace. And I really gravitate towards peace. That's why I created the Place of Peace, which is a multimodal approach to help people, decompress. And actually, I want to go back and talk about what you were saying, that we don't need all these things, right? We don't. I agree. I think that over time that we can operate, if we choose, in a different space, in a different energy level. What I will say, as somebody who had to overcome so many things, I'm very grateful to have had those things to give me the experience that it actually existed, because calm was so far out of my reality that it had to be shown to me in a way where my body couldn't even reach that, right? Because even when I reclaimed my health, there's another intuitive, and she was kind of flippant, And at the time, I was allergic to about 135 different plants and stuff. And I was hyper, and I still have a lot of energy, and I still can be hyper. And she said, well, why don't you have some chamomile tea, which is great for calming, unless, of course, you have a food sensitivity to it. And her response was, of course you do. Meaning I was wrong, right? My body doesn't want to have calm. And so the point is that we need tools, I think, sometimes to help us along so that we can then just go to the forest and ground, or we can use the breath.
Of course.
And I would love for you, while we still have time, for you to share about how to use the breath and activity to ground yourself when you don't have access to frequency medicine or essential oils or the right food. Go.
So I'm going to answer your breath question in a second.
Sure.
And I might go over our time, but but I also want to add 2 or 3 things that people could incorporate on a daily basis that will raise their vibrations and that will help them clear any gunk that doesn't belong. Okay,
that's a technical term, everybody. The
right. So breathing.
Mm-hmm.
We have not been taught how to breathe correctly.
I agree.
We have not been. It should be taught in all of elementary school and high school.
They're starting to,
They are. But there is everyday breathing,
mm-hmm.
right? And then there's something called conscious breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And conscious breathing is a form of meditation, which is one of my main 4 pillars, which we completely we're gonna have to come back for the 4 pillars. But
we never did do that.
Right? Meditation is one of the pillars of wellness because meditation is the act of pausing.
Right.
Simple, boom, that's it. Okay? There are many techniques to meditation. Some involve using the breath, like in mindfulness. Some involve chanting. Some involve more esoteric aspects. Whichever you use, ABC 1, 2, 3, they are all wonderful, and I recommend everybody to take 10 minutes a day to just pause. Okay? One great way of doing this is by tapping into your breath.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do 2 minutes here?
Yeah.
Okay. Wherever you are right now,
mm-hmm.
if you're able to sit down. Find a nice comfy chair. If you're not able to sit, you can do this standing. Okay.
Yeah, your blankie.
There you go. Nice. And with your eyes open, just look at a point on the floor, on the wall. Okay. And just focus on that and bring your awareness to your breath. Simply inhale, exhale, nice and calm, nice and relaxed. Don't try to change your breath. Don't try to do anything. Just simply observe the inhale and the exhale. When you're ready, I'd like to invite you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose, through your mouth, doesn't matter. And we're going to do this together. We're going to do 3 breaths. Inhaling now. Exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling. A little bit deeper than before. Exhaling through the mouth. One more deep breath in, deeper than the one before. Take more, take more, take more, take more, take more, and exhale. All right? Either you have your eyes open or your eyes closed, but these 30 seconds that we just did have already shifted you. Have already shifted you. Everybody should be able to experience a feeling of just, hmm, things are calm. The waters are still. Okay. And this is something that everybody and anybody is capable of doing. Why? Because we all must breathe to live on this planet. So we all have access to this. All right. My rule of thumb is 10 minutes a day gives you an A.
10 minutes a day gives you
An A.
an A. Got
10
it.
minutes a day gives you an A.
Cool.
Do this 10 minutes every single day, and you will have already incorporated a meditative practice, which meditation is pausing. And in this world of chaos, and chaos is not a bad thing, chaos is just constant movement. Without movement, there would be no life. Okay?
Without
We have
pause.
that. Exactly. The
Yin and the yang.
yin to the yang, there you go. The yin to the yang is active pausing. Okay. You can do this anywhere. You can make it into a ritual, turn on some candles, put some incense on, put some nice music. You could do it on a train headed to work. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Just
so
allow yourself this
taking
gift
the
of pause.
train, you can do that there on your lunch break or coffee break. Ooh, I think we have some guests.
Little cutie, hello. Oh my God, they're beautiful.
Hello, thank you.
They're beautiful. My God.
So this is here. This is Fagel. This is Tinkerbell.
Oh, lovely.
Tinkerbell. So they both love you, by the way,
Thank you.
because they made that clear the first time we spoke. But Tinkerbell's like all over you. She's so excited. She was telling me, and she's telling me now, that you guys were connected in a past life. And so what else are you saying? Are you saying he was your boyfriend? It's a little far to go fly right now over there. Okay, I'm just gonna say.
We'll go on a date when I come over for tea.
Yeah. She you. And I'll just say this. So both birds were traumatized. And I adopted Tinkerbell, the orange right here without the white belly. This is Tinkerbell first, and she couldn't perch and she couldn't fly. And and Zelda's hilarious. So Zelda goes, "Oh my God, Tinkerbell and Fagela, 2 for the price of 1 joyfulness. Yay." Yeah, so she would not even stand for this long period of time without, going into fight or flight, or she would slide because her claws couldn't hold on to my finger or my shoulder. And so we started, of course, with nutrition and love. Then we adopted Fagela here on the top of my head, and Fagela helped Tinkerbell to learn how to be a bird, how to engage. Tinkerbell now actually plays with toys, which she never used to. And we also use this device, the baud, which is sound frequency that Sis has in the B optical office. And we use the sound frequency, we put it on the cage. Sometimes I just put it on them, and it puts their brain in a meditative state. And going back to what you were saying about the pause, right? It gave them the ability to pause. And I know that you want to adopt birds. And so what people want to know about that is birds have more anxiety than most animals on the planet. Because when you think about the canary in the coal mine, right? So they took canaries into, don't worry, we're not taking
Oh, they're cute.
They took birds to the coal mine because they would know if there was a gas leak, I think is what it was, or something first before humans. They would react first.
Okay.
And so she says, enough of that story. Okay. She says, can I just love on Dr. JR? Can I just love on Dr. JR? Because he's the best, Mommy. He's the best. She's what she's saying. And Fagala is
Jodi,
like,
I
what
have a
about me?
question
What?
for Dr. JR. So, Jodi, I have a question for Dr. JR. You know, it's really a fascinating conversation, especially thinking about how our brains create thought and our emotions are the feelings, but our thoughts create the emotions. And the emotions that are created generate a biochemical response in the body as a result of the energy of our feelings. And so, you know, when you mention how birds have anxieties and the fact that, you know, Tinkerbell was traumatized, you know, a lot of times people don't realize animals have the same capacity for trauma as people. But the anxiety that's created by your thoughts, the feelings of fear that you're not being loved, you're going to be harmed, you know, that is what people struggle to overcome when they take medications that give you a different biochemical response, such as calming you down, as opposed to your feelings of being safe and secure, giving you the kind of biochemical response that your brain has, and producing dopamine and serotonin and all of that. But now the question I have for Dr. JR, are you familiar with the book? Now I can't remember the name. I can't remember the author's name, but the book A Course in Miracles.
Yes.
Yes, which kind of basically helps you change your thinking so that you can control your emotions, which are directly affecting your health, the energy that you put forth. And I've had that pain in the gut, you know, when I'm sad or fearful. So I know it's definitely a direct, you know, response to emotions created by my thoughts. So how do you help people recognize that what they have created in their bodies comes from the feelings in their heart, triggered by the thoughts that they have, so that they can create a different set of feelings that would be healing to the body?
Yeah, we need an infographic for that.
Look, let me answer with two. Let me give you two answers. One, something that everyone can do starting today, and that is experience your emotions fully, 100%, and do not be afraid of them or afraid of whatever label may come from the people around you.
Right? Don't fear the labels. That's their choice in the matter.
We are sentient beings. We are meant to feel. That is what makes us exceptional on this planet. We feel everything, and it is beautiful. It can be sad. It can be anger. It can be frustration. It can be grief. It can be fear. But it is always exceptional. If you train yourself little by little to sit during your breathing, 10 minutes a day gives you an A, and truly feel, how do you feel? Be with how you feel. Then you will allow yourself the accessibility of letting go of emotions that no longer serve your highest and best self. The number one treatment for uh, for a lingering emotion or a detrimental emotion is to fully experience it. And sometimes that is done with oneself, and sometimes that is done with guidance. So be mindful and be kind to yourselves in the process of truly experiencing your emotions, because that is what makes you beautiful,
And
whatever
let
the
me just
emotion
say
is.
this though, retrain yourself, reprogram yourself to allow yourself. Because right now, I don't care who I'm talking to, most of us have been programmed. I would say 99% of us have been programmed to not fully feel our emotions and put them down, compartmentalize them, whatever. You're allowed. Give
Do
yourself.
not fear your emotions. Invite them. They are what make every day magical. They are what makes you exceptional. I see we have 9 minutes left on the clock. I want to I hope that answered your question. Sorry, is it Naomi?
Naima.
Naomi. I hope that answered your question.
Does that answer your question, Naima?
From what I understand, so you're saying that go ahead and feel, even if it's fear, sadness, grief, anger, feel the emotion rather than saying, well, I shouldn't be feeling this, or
Feel it 100%.
all right, let's go. But just go ahead and feel the whole thing. So what's the next step after you fully felt the emotion? I mean, what about, because I've had days where I might just have crying spells and can't stop crying the whole day. Is that healthy? Is that harmful? Am I releasing the emotion, or am I just increasing it? What's happening when I have this extreme emotion and can't stop crying, maybe for a whole 2-3 days? What is that?
Well, sometimes emotions that have been held in for a long period of time, they bottle up, and that bottle becomes full. And so sometimes it's going to take a day or two to express it.
Right.
But here's the thing: when you are fully 100% invested in the expression or the experience of your emotion, that time frame is going to be shorter. Does that make sense? When you experience emotion for a full day, or for a day or two or three or four, you are not fully present with that emotion. There's still some aspect of it that you don't want to fully experience. Okay? When you fully experience whatever emotion that is, and let's turn this into a ritual, right? This ritual that you are gifting yourself of experiencing your emotion. When you are fully present and invested in that, then that time frame only takes a few minutes. Oh, sorry, can only take a few minutes. Sometimes it might take an hour, and that's perfectly okay. Another thing is, experiencing your emotion does not mean you have to experience it the second it comes out. It comes to your consciousness. If I get angry and frustrated and I want to punch the wall, don't punch the wall at work. Okay, go to the gym. Go to the gym a little bit later and work on the punching bag if you want. But what I'm saying with that is, find a time and space, a time and place where you can gift yourself, I say gift yourself, the ability to fully experience whatever emotion you are being invited to experience.
And yeah, I know it's a lesson. You're not wrong for having this emotion. It's just a lesson. It's a release. It's a huge release, and it's so important. Look, I mean, I was disabled for 3.5 years, Naima. You know this. There was a lot of crying involved.
Wow, yeah.
There were a lot of tears. You think I just sat at home, go, okay, I'm disabled, now I'm okay? I had so much crying, so much relief. I saw my psychologist religiously every single week, my acupuncturist every single week, my chiropractor every single week. like until I didn't have to anymore.
Do not be afraid. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Jodi, real quick. Do
Okay.
not be afraid to ask for help. That is what your friends are for. That is what your closest ones are for. That is what professionals like myself are for.
Mm-hmm.
You have access to this. If you do not know the how to express an emotion, experience an emotion, especially an emotion that has been lingering for 30 or 40 years, seek advice, seek guidance. Call me, call a friend. That's what we are all here for, to experience this thing we call life together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Earth school, right?
Yeah, exactly. Earth school, exactly. Right?
Does that answer your question, Naima? And do you have any other questions?
I believe that. Well, that's all for now.
I hope that helped.
Out of time. Yes, I thank you so very much for your answer.
You're very welcome.
And so if anybody wants to get in touch with Dr. JR, he's at Be Optimal in Skokie, and the best number is 847-486-8000. So like that. Go ahead, Dr. JR.
Please, if there's anything we can do for you, call us. That is what we are here for. Okay? 4 minutes on the clock. Let me try to get this in here.
Go ahead.
My invitation to everyone that's listening, that's viewing, is right now, right in this instant, I'd like to invite you to set the tone for the day ahead. In Chicago, it's 9 o'clock in the morning almost. But wherever you are, even if it's nighttime, I want you to set the tone for the rest of the day. And I want you to smile right now. Fake it until you make it. But I want you to smile. Okay? Just smile and allow that smile to be relaxed. All right? Allow the jaw to be relaxed.
Okay, I can't do that.
All right. Don't clench is what I'm saying.
I'm happy. I'm just so happy to have you here. I'm smiling ear to ear, and I'm not sure it's going to be relaxed.
That action sets the tone for the day. If you do this, the first instant you open your eyes every morning, you have set the tone for the day ahead, and you have automatically raised your vibrational frequency, so that everything that is programmed for the day ahead is going to work to your benefit. And even if it doesn't, you're not going to have that reaction to it that you would have had without setting the tone with that smile. Initial thing you should do every morning when you first wake up before planting your feet on the ground is smile.
90 seconds.
And I want to add to that. We might go a second over, but if someone can't see you smile, they can feel you smile. So don't, I would just say, don't forget.
Right.
That just because you're not being seen, you are being felt.
Very true.
Okay.
Last thing, Jodi, you mentioned earlier in the talk, how does one clear?
60 seconds.
Oh, how does what?
How does one clear?
Yeah, we did. We never got to that, did we?
Every night when you go to sleep, the second you lay down in bed, or even before you lay down when you're sitting on your bed, make the intention and say these words if you want, or say a version that you prefer. I release anything and everything that no longer serves my highest and best self.
Yeah, right. Just that simple.
That's it.
Right.
That's
People think they need to be like so special. It's like, give it to God.
That's it. Send it to the light. Send it to source. Send it to be recycled by the earth. What? I don't care what.
Right. Recycle it. Put it in. But when you recycle it, make sure we don't leave it in the ocean or the earth. I mean, just saying, send it up to source so they can recycle it properly.
10 seconds.
Wake up every morning with a smile. Yeah. Go to sleep every night with a smile, and just let go of what no longer serves you, and you're going to be golden. I hope I can come back to talk about the 5 pillars, Jodi.
If we ever get to them. I want to end the show like I like to end the show, which is with gratitude. And so I just want to thank Naima for calling in. Thank you, Andrew, Zelda, for participating, for Vieta. And then we had a lot of listeners and watchers on different platforms. On Podbean, we had, actually, it's just a code, so I don't know who their name is. But we had actually lots of different listeners here today. And let me see. I actually can't bring it up. But first of all, you know who you are if you listened. We are so grateful that you piped in today. And thank you for being here. Please join us again next Tuesday. Every single day of the week, we have somebody else on the show. Naima will be speaking about broken relationships tomorrow. And you know, but pipe in every Tuesday or every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central, on the Blog Talk Radio show, The Female Solution. Give gratitude, right, to those around you. Every time you give a grace card, you get 10 more back. I'm just going to say.
Be the pillar of light to the darkness that somebody may have.
Right. Send them a grace card. You know, be the light. Thank you. And looks like we have another comment. Let me just see here. Zelda says, awesome show, Dr. JR. Please come back and share those 5 pillars. Andrew says 5 pillars next time, please. You know, we will have you back. We can end the broadcast, and what we'll do is, if you have a minute to stay after, we can pick a date if you'd like.
I would love to. Love to, for sure.
That sounds awesome. I'm just gonna run the ending and